I've made over $10 million in my 20s, which is crazy because I started this journey with pretty much all the odds stacked against me. I grew up with a single mom and massive debt, making barely any money. I had no successful entrepreneurs in my family to look up to, and I even went all the way down to $30,000 in debt just a few years ago. But somehow, I still bounced back and made it out. So today, I wanna give you my honest advice about getting rich so you can avoid the mistakes I made and hopefully make it happen for yourself in half the time. And it all starts with making your first $1,000. There was a study that was published back in 2023 that showed that over 57% of Americans have less than $1,000 in savings. If that's you and you're trying to figure out how to get rich and start $1 million business, then you got your priorities all the way backwards. How do you ever expect to get rich if you can't even stack up a band? There's absolutely no reason for you to be older than 16 and have less than $1,000 to your name unless you're just out here wasting your life. Right now, it's time for you to take some serious accountability and ask yourself, how the heck did you end up in this position in the first place? Was it reckless spending, bad habits, work ethic, maybe a combination of all three? I don't know, but what I do know is that you gotta get real with yourself about where you're falling short, because breaking through this first phase is all about cutting out the bullshit. You gotta take a break from the weed, the expensive fast food, the video games, the weekends with the homies, the nights on Netflix, and just lock in. Because I'm sorry to tell you, but you ain't earned the right to do those things yet. All that matters is that you save up $1,000 as fast as humanly possible. Forget about finding your purpose or figuring out your why. We don't need all that right now. Step one is taking accountability for where you're at, setting a clear goal of making $1,000 and giving yourself a strict deadline. Now look, I know this might be a hot take, but the easiest way to make your first 1,000 is not from starting a business. Just go out and get a job. Unlike what a lot of these gurus say, there's nothing wrong with working a job. You just gotta make sure you choose the right job. You gotta try to find something that doesn't require a lot of skill because, well, at this stage, you probably have none. And more importantly, try to find a place where you can surround yourself around wealth. You need to put yourself in proximity of success. I mean, you can go valet at a nice hotel, you can serve food at a 5-star restaurant, or even clean up the floor at the private jet airport. To me, it really doesn't matter. It's just important that you work somewhere where you can see how much money is really out there in the world and surround yourself with successful people. My first and only job was cleaning tables at a 5-star restaurant in my hometown. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, man, watching people spend thousands of dollars a night on dinner and drinks while I only had $36 to my name did something to my brain and made me realize I need to get my shit together quick because there's so much money out there. Not to mention, for the little time I worked there, I was making great money on tips. I would bring in maybe $100 to $200 just on tips alone every night. You're not getting that at McDonald's or Starbucks. Have y'all ever really seen the tip jar over there as empty every single day? So in my opinion, it's a no-brainer to start with a job like this. Now, as we know, this job is not gonna take you to millions, but it's gonna put some much needed money in your pocket, which we can later use as a safety net and startup capital for our business. But sadly, you're not ready to start a business yet because you have no skills. So in your free time, there's really only 3 things you should try to focus on. Learn about entrepreneurship through books and videos, which, by the way, one of my favorite books of all time, especially if you're just getting started out, is called The Millionaire Fast Lane. I really recommend every single one of y'all checks that book out. Also, you need to be hitting the gym and trying to stay healthy, but most importantly, picking a skill and trying to learn it every single day. These 3 things set me free and put me ahead of 99% of people from a very young age. Man, I started doing this stuff back in high school when I was like 14. So by the time I was 18 years old, I was miles ahead of everyone around me. That's the secret. But just FYI, it's never too late to get started. Even if you're 50 years old today watching this video, start today. It doesn't matter. Now, when it comes to actually picking a skill, if I was starting over right now, I will focus on the same 2 skills I started with over 10 years ago: video editing, especially short form videos, and sales. Listen to me when I say, if you just lock in for like 3 months and really become proficient in both of these, you can do literally anything. If you can understand how to get attention and go viral, and then convert those views into dollars with sales and marketing, you will have more opportunities than you know what to do with and be able to speed run your way to $1 million in almost any industry. I promise you, I put that on literally everything. Especially if you're young and have no expenses, these two skills are like a cheat code to life and 1,000 times more valuable than any college degree or certification you can go out there and get today. So look, man, this is your foundation. Everybody skips this, you know? They just try to take their measly $128, try to throw it into some random online business, announce to all their friends and put in their Instagram bio that they are an entrepreneur now, and then they lose all their money in 2 weeks and give up and never pursue their dreams while their friends get to clown on them for the rest of eternity. Don't be like these people. Take accountability for yourself now, set a goal, get some money coming in from a job, stay as healthy as you can, and start learning a skill in your free time. That's the play. It's simple as that. And now you're starting to build momentum and we can start working towards making some real money. So how do we turn $1,000 into $10,000? Well, honestly, it's pretty hard. You know, this is that season where your friends start to look at you crazy because you have to sacrifice a lot of the stuff you used to love doing. This is that time to lock in, like nothing else matters. You work out in the morning, you work your job during the day, you work on your skill at night. It's hard as hell and super lonely, but it's supposed to be hard. That's why no one does it. Even though everyone on the internet makes it sound easy and makes it seem like everyone is out here making over $10,000 a month, I'm gonna hit you with another fact. Less than 7% of Americans, and keep in mind there's 300 million of us, have $10,000 saved up. That is absolutely insane. If you just stack up $10,000, you're nearly in the top 5% of richest people in America, the richest country in the world. As you can see, this is where everyone gives up. And I promise you, if you can just get past this, you're gonna be all right. Now, like I said, it's gonna be hard, but the formula to doing this is pretty simple. All you gotta do is keep that job of yours and simply get one person to pay you for the skill that you've been learning, even before you think you're good enough. Because I know if it was up to you, you'd never be ready, and you'd always be waiting for that perfect day when everything lines up. You're never gonna feel ready, and that's the point. We need to take action before we feel ready. Otherwise, we never end up doing anything. And we're gonna learn a lot more from taking action than just studying and trying to practice every single day. Now, the reason why I gave editing, especially short form editing, a shout out is because this is a job that everybody is looking for right now. For example, for me, I'm constantly hiring editors for this role, starting at a base pay of anywhere from $1,500 to even $2,500 a month. And so are all the biggest channels on YouTube. It's without a doubt one of the most in-demand services on the planet. And if you combine this money with the money you make from your job, you're gonna hit $10,000 in just a couple months, especially if you're young and have no expenses. Now I know that you're asking, well, how do I possibly get clients? There's so many editors, it's so hard, it's so competitive, I don't know what to do, womp, 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 all these excuses. This is why you're still broke, I'm sorry to tell you. It's actually really simple to get a client, and I'll give you a foolproof method that is guaranteed to work. In fact, to show you how much I believe in this, if you do this for me, I will hire you on the spot with no hesitation, or refer you to someone and make sure you get paid. You got my word. That's my promise to you. All you gotta do is get results for someone first for free and then share those results with them. Everything else gonna work itself out. Like if you launched a clip page posting clips of me and got a couple videos to pop off to the tune of 1 million+ views and actually went viral and sent it to my team, once I see it, the first question I'm asking is, who is this? Who did these videos and how can we get them on our team? Y'all gotta understand, I get 1,000 DMs a day from people telling me how great of an editor they are or how they can add an extra $5,000 a month to my business without me lifting a finger. I've been in this game too long to know that most of that is a straight up facade. If you want to get hired, especially in a competitive industry like editing, do it for free, show the results, and suddenly you're hired for life and you got to skip the line of everyone else. This is not only true when it comes to editing, by the way. Let's say you clean cars and you went to the best neighborhood in your city and went up to a nice mansion with a car parked out front, and you asked the owner if you could detail his car for free, and you did an outstanding job. Just using common sense, what do you think this rich man is gonna do afterwards? It's very likely he would not only pay you for your work because he feels bad, but he will respect that you showed results for free and call you back to do the rest of his fleet. And suddenly, you got one man paying you a couple $1,000s a month just to wash his cars. It seems backwards doing free work to show people what you're capable of, but I promise you, it is a surefire way to secure a paid position long term. But only if you're actually good, because if you came to wash my car and you did a terrible job and you left marks everywhere, I'm never calling you back. But if you do a good job, I promise this works in every single industry. Now, if you're trying to figure out how to get good at a skill, there are literally tutorials for everything these days. You don't need a paid course to learn anything, just use YouTube and practice. The greatest knowledge in the world is available at your fingertips in an instant, yet you spend all day consuming garbage and rotting your brain. It's no wonder why you still have less than $1,000. It's simple math. With a low-level job and just one client paying you every single month, you can hustle your way up to $10,000 in just a couple months. If you're a bit older and you have a bunch of expenses or even a little kid running around, I know it's gonna be a lot harder for you. But guess what? You have less of an excuse to slack off. Them kids gotta eat, you know? Once you hit $10,000, you can officially quit your job. Congratulations. Now you get the chance to go all in on your business. Just don't mess it up like most people do. Most people mess this part up so badly because they blow the bag. You gotta understand that if you got $10,000 right now, that is not your money. That is your startup fund to build something bigger. The dumbest thing I ever did was after I made my first $30,000, I moved from paying $400 a month in rent with my friends back home to over $3,000 a month in Los Angeles. I sold my amazing Honda Accord, which was the best car ever, to lease a shitty brand new Lexus for $500 a month. Don't be like me. Keep your expenses as low as humanly possible until you get past this phase. I promise you're gonna be able to ball out soon. Just please bear with me here. I'm trying to save you. I recommend if you're young, under 30 years old, just keep living with mom and dad and maybe help them out a bit with the rent or groceries. There's nothing wrong with staying with your parents, even if you're in your early 20s. Don't let these people on social media confuse you. Don't worry about what everyone on social media is doing, bro. Ignore that shit. Most of it's fake anyways. Some of the most locked in days of my life was when I was living at my mom's crib, sleeping on a bunk bed with my little brother, staying up till 3 to 4 in the morning because it was the only time nobody was awake and I could really focus. Even today, living in this big ass house in Miami with everything I ever wanted, I'm constantly trying to chase that level of focus. It was a superpower. So I'm telling you, that is like a superpower and you need to harness that energy. There's something special about working in that room that you grew up in or working in that home that you grew up in with your mom right there on your side. It's like people try to rush out of that, but I'm telling you, man, that was some of the most focused I've ever been in my entire life. So harness that energy and use it to your advantage. Fuck all that balling out. We're gonna get there in a little while. If you feel like you gotta move out, get the cheapest spot you could find and split it with your friends. It doesn't have to look amazing. Just make sure you choose the right friends to live with because these fools can drag you down 10 times faster than you came up. If you can't find any friends with a similar mindset as you, don't even bother moving out right now. Just stay with your people and keep building. The most important thing to invest in this stage is yourself. So make sure you're eating clean, you're working out, you're buying books, trying to join paid communities online to meet other entrepreneurs in your niche because there are paid communities out there for literally every single business model, and being a part of one will speed up your success significantly. For me, early on in my journey, being a part of these communities was my saving grace because it was the only place I had to meet people who were doing the same thing as me and the people who actually understood my struggles. And every time I got the chance to see someone succeed, it was a daily reminder that I could do it too. Now, how do you actually flip the money that you made? Because you can only edit so many videos or detail so many cars. You've got to use your skills to build something with leverage. This simply means building something that allows you to make money while you sleep. It's not based on how much work you do every single day, but more so making a few calculated moves that set you up with consistent income for months. For me, I use my video editing skills to sell products online, which in my opinion is without a doubt the best business model for going from $10,000 to that $100,000 mark. Because one viral video can pay you for months or even years. For example, back in 2020 when I was down to $30K in debt living back in my mom's house, I shot a video ad with my sister for this product I found while scrolling on Facebook, and I launched a store for it. This ad took me 2.5 hours to make, and that one single video made me over $350,000 in sales over the next 4 months and got my e-commerce brand off the ground. From spending that time to master video editing and marketing, I was able to make one video that made me over 350 bands in sales. That's what we call leverage, and that's the value of learning a skill like video editing and marketing. Now, of course, there was a lot more that went into it, like product selection, store design, setting up the ad campaign, but at the core, it was really the video that took everything to that next level because there were so many other people trying to sell this product. But I was the one that scaled it because I made the best video. Now look, if you wanna learn step-by-step how to launch a store like this, I have a private paid community of my own called Viral Vault, where I personally do weekly coaching calls with everyone inside of there and break down my entire strategy in depth, step-by-step for just $67 a month. You probably spent that alone in coffee and fast food over the last couple weeks. So you gotta wisen up, bro, and spend your money smarter and check out Viral Vault. Inside of our community, there is 24/7 coaching, so you can get advice every single day from real experts along every step of the journey. And our students are posting their results in the community daily, all the way from getting their first sale to making their first 100,000 and beyond. So check that out at the link down below in the description if you're trying to take everything to the next level. Now look, there are so many different methods to get to 6 figures, but that's my personal favorite because it worked for me. You could choose whatever vehicle you want, I don't really care. Just make sure you choose the right one and make sure you can leverage your skills and it's not tied to your direct output. Another one of my favorites right now is affiliate marketing on TikTok Shop. It's the same concept. You make viral videos, you sell products, but you're selling other people's products instead of your own, so you don't gotta deal with all the fulfillment and all the extra stuff that comes with running a business. If you can make viral videos, this is one of the best opportunities out there right now. The only problem is that TikTok can change their policy at any moment and your business is completely gone. So that's why I think you're better off selling your own stuff and building a real business. But being an affiliate definitely has less headache and is much easier to manage. Look, as long as you give yourself enough time, you're gonna win once you reach this stage. Extend your time horizon, don't switch paths, pick your play, run with it. If you lock in and don't blow the bag and just stick to one path, you can stack up your first 100,000 in cash in less than 1 year, easily. I don't care where you live, I know you can do this. You could even do it faster if you really take yourself serious. Going from 100,000 to $1 million sounds crazy, but at this stage, I promise you, the hard part is over. If you can get to 100K, you can get to $1 million. Because at this stage, you have a proper war chest of cash, you're not in survival mode anymore, you have a Swiss Army knife of valuable skills, and you have a business that's bringing you profit every single month. Once you hit this milestone, everything will explode if you just do 2 things that I wish I did when I was in that position the first time. First, don't be an idiot and spend it all on yourself. I've seen so many kids make 100,000 and blow it. I was one of them, and I learned very quickly that 100,000 is little boy money. If you get that and start spending it like you're rich, you will very quickly learn how little it actually is, and you'll go back broke so quickly you won't even know what happened and be back to square one, especially when Uncle Sam comes knocking at the door. I'm not saying you can't move out and get yourself a nice apartment, but don't go buying cars, watches, none of those stupid luxuries, because there's only one thing that you need to spend your money on at that level if you want to become a millionaire, and that's investing in building a team to scale your business. With this money, you can hire people to replace you in your business, which will finally unlock time freedom and real scale. I'm gonna tell you all the truth, man. If I took my laptop right now and I beat it up with a baseball bat and I disappeared for a month, I'm gonna still make over $200,000 a month in profit because my team is in the trenches running and growing my business every day. Thanks, team. Your job at this stage is to find what you're best at, focus solely on that, and supervise your team. That's your path to that first million. With my store, I hired a manager, a customer service rep, an advertising agency, and an email marketer. And this allowed me to focus entirely on making a better product and making new video ads, which at the time were my 2 favorite things to do. And that's when my store went from making 30K a month to over 100K a month. And this is when I really started to feel financially free. I moved out of mom's and got an apartment in Miami. I stashed away over 6 months of expenses in an emergency fund. I started finally building a real investment portfolio, and it gave me enough freedom to start focusing more on this YouTube channel, which has really been my passion since day one. I've been making videos back since 2013. I always wanted to do this. And less than 2 years after building my team and doubling down on my store, I took it past 1.8 million in sales and sold the business, officially making me a post-tax millionaire. But to make my first million, I had to sacrifice pretty much everything. I've been through years where I didn't do anything except for build and try to make money. No parties, no fancy dinners, no trips, just build, train, sleep, and repeat until something worked. But I guess it paid off, because now I could literally do anything I want at any time. I could buy anything, I could travel anywhere, I employ 30 people all around the world, I just got my mama her dream house, and I'm pursuing my passion of creating videos to inspire the next generation of entrepreneurs. So I guess that brings the question to you. Are you willing to sacrifice a couple years of fun for a lifetime of freedom? To me, the answer is obvious. Thanks for watching.